This is a CBC podcast. From Dragon's Den to Hockey Night in Canada, you can watch full episodes of your favorite shows from CBC Television whenever you want. Just head to cbc.ca/video.
And there's an interfaith symposium going on tonight in Sydney. It's being publicized as an opportunity for people of different faiths to come together and to learn about each other in a positive atmosphere. The Interfaith Symposium is being organized by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Sydney, whose slogan is Love for All, Hatred for None. Ahmadiyya Muslims have been organizing symposiums like this one for more than 100 years. They've hosted more than 100 in Canada since the 90s, and there's a special guest in town this week to attend the Interfaith Symposium. Lal Malik is the national president of the Ahmadiyya Muslims in Canada. Welcome to Cape Breton, sir.
Good morning, Steve. It's my pleasure being on this program this morning.
I wonder if, could you tell me a little bit about the origins of these symposia?
Yes, the origin of the Interfaith Symposia goes back to the end of the last century. Hazrat Ahmad, who founded the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in 1889, he started a series of interfaith events. The first one of its kind was held in 1896 when one of his essays was read in a conference in Lahore, India. And why did he do it? I would like to take a moment to say that he said that God is one, humanity is one. So the message from same God to humanity at different times, at different places in the world must be the same. But why do they appear to be very different from one another today? It's not because they were different. They have become different over this period of time due to the effect of time, due to translations from the various ancient texts, and lack of communication between these faiths. And unfortunately, there is a trend among the leaders of these various faiths to emphasize the differences and minimize the commonalities, while the right approach should have been we should maximize the commonalities and minimize the differences if we appear to have some. So he said, since all the revealed religions are true, we should have dialogue between the various scholars of the faiths so that people have an opportunity of listening to these faiths from the mouths of the scholars of their own faiths, rather than having second-hand information which breeds suspicion, which breeds friction.
So what are the commonalities that you see among some of the major religions or religious faiths?
The greatest commonality between all these various faiths is concept of God, who has created us for a purpose, and the moral teachings. If you look around in any faith, goodness, truthfulness, compassion, mercy, being of help to others, these are all values very dear to all these faiths.
Now, of course, some might suggest that those are also values that secular humanists would hold dear, people who base their moral behavior on do unto others as you would have done unto you. Right. And that religious faith doesn't have to be a base of that.
I think, yes, on the surface it appears to be true. But I believe that true morality can exist only in a society believing in God. Because when it comes to on personal level, people tend to be nice. But when it goes to national and international level, they don't do that unless they believe in one God who treats us like siblings and who is Father for all of us. There is no reason for a nation to be kind to another nation if they don't believe in God. The national or the international interest would drive their behavior, not morality. And this is what we are seeing now.
So, I mean, just on that front, though, of course, there's a strong tradition, especially in Western democracies, of the separation between church and state.
Right.
So what do you mean that a nation can only be moral under God?
I believe that our behavior is moderated by our beliefs. Well, while it is true that in working of a government, in an organization, faith and state should be separate. It means that whether you believe in God, in a faith or not, you should not be treated different. But to say that how do we run a government has nothing to do with the religion, that I don't believe in. Religion guides us in all walks of life, and to derive good principles of governance from religion is a right thing to do.
So how many of these interfaith symposia have you attended?
I have attended more than 20. Normally more than 20 every year. But every year we hold more than 100 in Canada, and I would say thousands throughout the world. Our community takes this as a very important part to play, because it brings about better understanding between various faiths. And many of the problems of unrest and intolerance in the world we are facing today is rooted in misinformation and ignorance about other faiths.
So what's something that you've learned from attending these symposia?
You have given me a good opportunity. When I sit in these interfaith symposia, sometimes when Bible is being quoted, I feel it is being quoted from the Quran. When I hear a reference from Gita or any other divine text, it appears I'm reading from the Quran. I'm listening from the Quran. So that shows me how close we are to one another. We have different names, but in essence, all revealed religions, since they are from the same source, they are the same, or at least very close to one another.
So why have different ones then?
The differences, as I indicated earlier, are not because they were different. They have become different. There is a tendency by the leaders of the faiths to emphasize their own importance, and this they can do only when they can say, we are better than others. We are the only truth. This is the only way. I think we don't have to say that. We should say all are true, and we should all work together to bring people towards God, rather than saying, let us bring people to Islam, let us bring people to Judaism, let us bring people to Christianity. When we have one voice, we would be more effective, and if people would come to God, they would automatically come to whatever religion is calling them to God.
Thank you very much for coming in today, and good luck tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope your listeners would attend this evening's event at 6:30 in the Church of Jesus Christ.
Lal Malik is National President of the Ahmadiyya Muslims in Canada. He's in town to attend an interfaith symposium in Sydney tonight. We're also joined today by Johnny Abbas, Dr. Khalifa, who is documenting all the materials for posterity. The Interfaith Symposium on Freedom of Conscience will feature speakers from 4 different spiritual traditions tonight. There will also be a question and answer segment as part of the symposium. It takes place tonight at the Church of Jesus Christ on Evergreen Drive in Tanglewood. I'll be the moderator tonight, and it begins at 6:30.
Looking for more CBC podcasts? Go to cbc.ca/podcasting.